Hi everyone, welcome to easyhouse.com YouTube channel. Today we will look at a category in debt funds, that is banking and PSU funds. We will discuss why you should invest in these funds, why these are a good option for risk-averse investors, which can provide you with good returns plus protect your capital. If you want to invest in banking and PSU funds and want to know more about them, I'll suggest that you watch the entire video. If you find this video useful, please like and subscribe, as one lucky subscriber has a chance to win Amazon Alexa speaker. So please don't forget to like and subscribe and also hit the bell notification. SEBI's categorization rule, there was a new category, banking and PSU mutual funds made, which mandates that 80% corpus of mutual fund should be invested in debt instruments which invest in banks, public sectors or public financial institutions. So here what's really important is that government ownership on 80% corpus is required. Now in debt funds there are two types of risks. There is interest rate risk and credit risk. Because you are investing 80% of money in PSUs or banks or public financial institutions, the credit risk in these are relatively less. Now credit risk is reduced because in PSUs the government stake is almost 60% to 80% or more than 50%. As in PSUs, indirectly the government's or India as a country's sovereign rating comes in, and that is the reason PSUs, or for that matter even banks, because banks are very highly regulated. Therefore in these funds credit risk is very low. Now one more very important point to keep in mind in this category is that duration is not defined by SEBI. So even though the credit risk is low, the fund manager has the option whether he chooses to invest in a 1-year debt instrument or a 10-year debt instrument. So generally what happens is when you invest in debt instrument, you have to determine whether you want to invest in short term or medium term, or if you're looking to invest for the long term. And accordingly, you invest in suitable funds so that interest rate movements do not impact you. However, in banking and PSU funds, the fund manager can shift his portfolio from high duration to low duration. If the fund manager sees that interest rates are falling, then the fund manager can invest low duration to high duration. In fact, the remaining 20% of the corpus, the fund manager can invest in gilts, government securities or even trap funds, and with this can manage the duration. So with less purchases and less movements in instruments, the fund manager can play with the duration, and you don't have to think too much about the duration or the interest rate risk with these funds. Now let's move on to who should be investing in banking and PSU funds. In this category, because your credit risk is reduced since you're investing in government-backed institutions or banks or PFIs, so these funds are naturally automatically more suited to investors who do not want to take credit risk and are generally risk averse. Banking and PSU funds generally beat liquid fund returns by 2%. Now if you're thinking if these funds beat liquid funds by 1.5% to 2% and you don't really see much scope in them, but if you see liquid funds returns are just around 3 to 4%, and in future scenario where India is heading towards structural changes and the interest rates in Western world are already negative or less than 1% in 70% of the developed world, India is also a very big economy. It's the 5th largest economy in the world. In future, the interest rate scenario, our interest rates will also keep falling. Hence, liquid returns over a long period of time will definitely drop down further. Because structurally, there is change coming in interest rates. In this scenario, if you compare when you are earning 4% returns in liquid funds to 6% returns, that's almost an increase of 50%. So you're earning higher returns by almost 50%. This is the reason you should invest in this sector. If you are a risk-averse investor and you want a good instrument where you do not have to worry much about the duration, then this is a great option for investors. Another point to keep in mind when you invest in debt funds, in these papers, it's very important that when you select the best PSU fund or banking fund, or for that matter any other debt fund, you do not look at YTM. That is, what is the yield to maturity in these funds? Return am I getting in this fund? Because if you're getting 6% return in one fund and in another debt fund or debt instrument you get 5.8% returns, you have to see the logic behind which papers or debt instrument the fund manager is investing to get the difference of 20 basis points. If 6% returns are generated due to investing in very risky papers, AA rated bond papers, debt papers, you need to stay away from such mutual funds. Whenever you invest in any mutual fund, even banking or PSU funds or debt funds, you need to check its investment portfolio. If any fund manager is generating higher returns by investing around more than 10 to 15% investment corpus in double rated bonds or below rated bonds, then do not invest in those funds. Because to generate this extra return of 0.5% or 1%, this is by taking extra risk, and ideally you can avoid this risk when you are investing in this category. Your ideal scenario is that your money remains safe, and for 0.5% you do not need to take this risk. So do keep in mind that it's very important that you do not follow just YTM, that is yield to maturity, but rather concentrate on whether the investments in the fund are generally AAA rated and your money is generally safe in them. Now let's move on to the next section of this video, which are the best banking and PSU funds you can consider investing your money into. You can invest in DSP's banking and PSU fund. This is a fund with a corpus of around 4,000 crores. It has given really good returns, a very good consistent returns, and it's a 5-star rated fund. Another fund that you can invest in is Reliance Banking and PSU Fund. It has a corpus of almost 6,500 crores. It has also given very good consistent returns, and it is a 5-star rated fund. Another good fund you can invest in is Aditya Birla Sun Life Banking and PSU Fund. This is a 3-star rated fund. It has a very big corpus size. It's almost 13,000 crore fund. It has also given good consistent returns. It's a over 10 years old fund. Its 10 years returns are almost 9.5% and 3-year returns are 8.75%, and its 5-year returns are around 8.95%. So this fund has given pretty good consistent returns, so you can choose to invest in it as well. And as I mentioned earlier, when you invest in these funds, we suggest that you look at the papers they are holding currently or the fund manager has invested in very carefully. A very big advantage of banking and PSU fund is that if you hold debt instruments or debt funds for more than 3 years, you get the benefit of indexation. And instead of short-term capital gain tax, you need to pay long-term capital gains tax. Even if you are looking to invest for a time horizon of more than 3 years, you can consider investing in these funds. The second big advantage, as I have mentioned earlier, do not look at interest rate risk, because this interest rate risk is managed by the fund manager on their own. Since low credit risk and interest rate risk is managed by the fund manager, you can invest your money and basically you do not need to actively manage these funds, because interest rate risk the fund manager is managing and credit rate risk in this fund is very little compared to other funds, as they are mostly investing in government securities, banks and PSUs. Hence its credit risk is relatively quite low. So that's it. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe and share this video with your friends and family. And before I go, a very happy New Year's to all our subscribers and happy investing.